You gonna go all the way up? Because you know I never fought 140 yet. I was still at 135.
Good afternoon, everyone. Good evening where you are. Let's have a look at the two teams, starting with Belgium. Unchanged from their win over New Zealand. Thibaut Courtois in goal, making his 19th appearance at a World Cup. That's a Belgium record. The questions were all about in attack. It could be a World Cup goodbye to Kevin De Bruyne and possibly Romelu Lukaku, who's been coming off the bench to great effect in the group games. Tielemans captaining the team, Van Aken alongside him in midfield. Let's have a look at Senegal, who are still without the injured Edouard Mendy. Mori Diaw starts in goal. He's the man who's keeping the Congo goalkeeper Mpassi out of the Le Havre team. Pathé Ciss splits his time between midfield and defence, but comes into the back line. Koulibaly is left out again after a couple of mishaps. And there is pace and goal everywhere across that front line, and very recognisable names to Premier League fans as well. Iliman Ndiaye, Sadio Mane, Ismail Assar, Idrissa Gana Gueye, and Sunderland's Habib Diarra. Belgium wearing their change strip of light blue with pink floral action on the front, and the reason they've changed from their red is because those with
every time we go to one, it's something new. This is a real beauty. The pitch looks pretty decent as well. There's been a few complaints about the pitches so far, but this one looks pretty nice.
Jacobs running on the inside right channel, but Mane has gone down the left to try and find the cross into the box. It's well dealt with by Timothy Castagna. Trossard, who created more chances in the group stages than any other player in the tournament.
Yeah, boys are talking about him this season for Arsenal, how consistent he is when he's been left out or arrested. He just sits on the bench, he normally comes on and produces something, a goal or a chance. Totally different type of winger than on the other side with Doku.
Jeremy Doku, who's back in the fold after attending the birth of his child, and recovering from illness, and he's trying to forage his way through the Senegalese defence here. Full of dazzle and guile, Jeremy Doku of Manchester City. That's Mane, finding space in the middle of the park. Maybe Diarra shuffles it out wide. Lumen Field. Diatta. It's not been a particularly soft landing at the World Cup for either of these two teams. Both lost early games, both got hammered for it back at home, and both answered their critics with a 5-goal win on the final day. Belgium beat New Zealand 5-1, Senegal beat Iraq 5-0. Belgium in particularly had a rather unconvincing start to the tournament. Here's Mane, stopped by Castagna.
So to say he's the twilight of his career, but he's still got a huge amount of ability. Very difficult and unnerves defenders, but just unbalances them really with his ability to run with the ball close to his feet.
Sadio Mane, formerly of Liverpool, now playing in Saudi Arabia. Still ball is by Moussa Diakate, looking for Njai. Backing him up is Crepin Diatta.
We've got no complaints, the players, about the heat. It's freezing.
Njai, jinking in field. Weaving his way into a decent position. He tried to play the reverse ball, but Tiat was there. Promising start from Senegal.
Nice little effort that was, comes inside. Njai's a real box of tricks, isn't he? Just the reverse pass just failed. Good run here.
The idea was right to try and release Habib Diarra, who was breaking from midfield.
So difficult to pick up. Just watch this. This is what he does, he jinks, but the reverse pass is nearly perfect.
I think his team can be afforded a little bit more latitude maybe than Belgium in terms of the way they started. They were in the toughest of tough groups with France and Norway. Belgium drew with Egypt and 0-0 with Iran, although they played a lot of that game with 10 players. Castagna, step over by Trossard, was trying to allow it to go through to Hans Van Aken. De Ketelaere, hammered in by Trossard, who was looking for the breakers from midfield, almost found them.
Yeah, he got 3 in the box then as well, Belgium. It's a good move, got a bit lucky, but Ketelaere ended up on this right-hand side, supplying Trossard.
Long throw from the man from Fulham, a little flick by De Ketelaere. Doku wasn't able to back him up.
It was a good one, wasn't it? Sometimes some of the players have long throws that are not long throws, but that was a long one.
Yes, there's a catapult from the Craven Cottage man. Kevin De Bruyne. Looking for Jeremy Doku, former teammate at Manchester City. De Bruyne now plying his trade in Serie A with Napoli. Could be the last World Cup night for one of those two greats. Sadio Mane says it's his last big tournament. Kevin De Bruyne, same age, wearing the Belgian kit, possibly for the last time if they end up going out. Two icons certainly nearer the end of their career rather than the beginning of it. Both after one big final night.
Surprised me a little bit that the start to this game, how calm it is, and No real team closing down. There's no real zip in anything that's going on at the moment. It's quite based on the heat that we've seen before. You'd think there'd be a bit more sprightly in this, 15 degrees.
Having watched these two teams, they've taken a little while to warm into matches over the course of the tournament so far. They've saved their best up until this point for the second halves.
I have to say, Senegal have had the better of it so far, possession-wise.
This is Pate Cis, plays for Rayo Vallecano in Spain and divides his time between midfield and the back line. That was given away by Niakate rather dangerously. Chance to break here, Vanaken sends it to Di Catarana. Castagna coming on the overlap. Makes the room, Di Catarana. Didn't quite pull the trigger in time and Sadio Mane got back, but it's still dangerous. And the shot eventually comes in from Leandro Trossard and Mori Giao is equal to it.
I have to say, what was Catalara waiting for? I mean, he did really well just to create a little bit of space on his left foot and then chose not to shoot in the end. The shot comes in, but it was a good opportunity to bend it in that far corner.
Well, the Belgian boss, Rudy Garcia, was really unhappy with the criticism his team got after the early games of the tournament. He came out fighting after the New Zealand win, angry that his veterans had been written off as has-beens back home, saying he wants the generation, labelled the golden generation, to go out the front door. And then he admitted he hadn't even read most of the articles and they'd all been sent to him by somebody else. And there was a discussion whether or not Pap Chow might turn to pragmatism today, especially after shipping 6 goals in the first 2 games of the tournament. He has decided to put Pate Cis at the heart of the defence alongside Niakate. Doku. De Bruyne. Always dangerous from wide areas, and he almost found the glancing head of Leandro Trossard. The referee might have been better playing the advantage there.
He tried to, and then he ran out of patience to himself, and perhaps should have just left it another few seconds.
The referee, by the way, is Said Martinez of Honduras, his 3rd match of the tournament.
They're getting better with that ref camera view, aren't they now? Because they used to put it on for really ridiculous things, and then now they're getting better at what they're selecting.
Well, it used to give you a bit of seasickness, didn't it? But you've now got your sea legs.
Don't want to see a player taking a throw-in from ref cam.
Diarra. This is Njai. Chance to cross into a dangerous corridor. There wasn't a green shirt present to touch home a presentable chance.
Well, looking at Njai, and he's put his arms up as if to say, where's my centre-forwards or midfield player? That was an absolute peach of a cross. You could tell by the scrambling in the 6-yard box by the 2 defenders.
Ismail Assar has already hit the target on a couple of occasions at this tournament. He's had a really good start to it, goal-scoring wise, 3 already. Away by Courtois. Vanaken. Big, tall, rangy pass master. Serial Belgian title winner.
It's poor from Tielemans. Just took his eye off the ball. I like him.
Just again. Pate Cis looking Crepin Diatta. Plays his football in Monaco. Jacobs flicking it round the corner, looking for the run of Ismaila Sarr. It's come fortunately to Mane. Good ball into Jacobs again. Courtois is there, and somehow Sarr can't steer it home. Courtois didn't get enough on it. Neither did Sarr. The post came to Belgium's rescue and spared Thibaut Courtois' blushes.
What a cross. This is great play. This little pass here, the reverse pass, across from Jacobs, and he just puts it in his path. He can't quite stretch for it. He has 2 or 3 goes at it. Courtois think he's done enough. He hasn't. And Sarr just can't hook his foot around it. Gets a help off the post. An escape for Belgium.
Well, it was a cracker of a cross from Jacobs.
Good little deflection, to be fair. Not sure what Courtois is doing there. You just got to have a little look around him. You should know what's in your 6-yard box. There's nobody there. It was after he got a hand on it.
Mane. Senegal just turning up the temperature inside the stadium. Lumen Field working a bit of room. Good movement. Another chance to cross, this time from Pape Gueye, who made such an impact off the bench in the last game. Idrissa Gueye, Pape Gueye, 4 waiting in the centre, and Thiat and Sadio Mane getting very well acquainted, and the referee from Honduras just went over to have a word with them.
Really good play down this left-hand side. He's just finding little gaps, little overlaps. Trossard's just missed a couple of runs from who he's supposed to be marking and let his runner go off his back.
Diatta got himself into a bit of an issue. Doku has come away with the ball for Belgium. I think Senegal believe that they are the most underrated team still in this tournament. They arrived as African champions, although that was soon snatched from them. Ended up drawing the hardest group of the lot with France and Norway, lost to both, still came through. Their coach Pape Thiaw says he's not here to make up the numbers. He thinks his team can go very deep into the tournament. And that's not an unfamiliar refrain now, is it? New and emerging footballing nations not afraid to state that they've got lofty ambitions. That's Paul. A chance to break. Ismaila Sarr blocked off, didn't get the run right. I think it was Brandon Michele who just stepped across to stop Ismaila Sarr from getting onto that ball from Mane.
Well, he wasn't very clever with the pass, but what he did after that was clever, because he ran straight in front of him. Referee chose to let it go. Terrible pass in the first place.
Header away by Castagna. Tielemans. Di Ketelara trying to squeeze between the tightest of Senegalese gaps. Good run from mid, from the left back by Maxime de Kuiper. Thiat being pushed off the ball by Lumen Field. He's such a trickster, and he keeps hold of the ball really well. Pape Gueye, Crépin Diatta, Sadio Mane. Diatta's cross, looking for Ndiaye at the far post. It was a good intervention. Pape Gueye is there, and Idrissa Gueye manages to smash it goalwards. It's well stopped.
Well, Ndiaye's having a real presence in this game. He's pulling all the strings. Nearly gets on the end of that one after setting something up. Belgium on the attack.
And driving forward at speed. Kevin De Bruyne getting right underneath that.
Yeah, how many times have we seen him stepping into that midfield and running away from markers and then finishing them off, not to beat. 35-year-old. But they've started the game very, very well, Senegal. They're the ones who are really threatening.
I don't think we're too surprised about that, bearing in mind you and I were both at the City Ground Nottingham this time last year when they tore England apart.
They've got some good players and they're organised. They all break together. And we've got some flair in the side, and this lad is one of the best ones.
And they would be African champions if it hadn't have been for the controversy and drama at the end of that game. They ended up winning the match, lifting the trophy, and then had it stripped from them. That appeal against that decision, which handed Morocco the title, is still going through the Court of Arbitration for Sport. Mane. Good ball to Crepin Diatta. And that's out for a corner. It is the first of the game here in Seattle.
Yeah, they're getting the wide players in, and full-backs in really good positions. The wingers run off, Mane goes in field, and Jai goes in field, lead the full-backs to come forward. Jacobs and Diatta, they do it brilliantly well.
Three lined up on the penalty spot. Moved into that area, Sis with the header, but straight to Doku, who's got the opportunity to accelerate to the halfway line, and he has support. De Bruyne is to his left. De Kuiper is out on this near side, and that's where De Bruyne was aiming that pass. It didn't quite work. I wonder if Mane's coming back from an offside position here. Indeed, the flag went up very quickly.
He tried his best to get in his own half, couldn't quite make it. Shame, because there was a break on then.
Might have got there 2 years ago.
Yeah, he might have done. De Bruyne wouldn't have missed that pass 2 years ago either.
That was interesting, actually, because when the criticism was flying around, De Bruyne did just stand up and say, look, no one is the same player they were 9 years ago. And no one believes that that could be the case. So, you know, we crack on. It's not a party. It's a different tournament now. The knockout stages have begun. And it really begins here. Very much accepting the situation and adapting to it. Tielemans looking for Castagna, who's stretching and manages to keep it alive, and the glancer from Trossard actually took it away. That was a bit of clever defending, and it's going to be a yellow card, I think, for Tielemans, who just leant across the body of Habib Diarra.
Yeah, it was a bit like the one before, wasn't it? Kayla.
He's going to get away without picking up a yellow card.
He should have got one for that.
It is Seattle, and that's the skyline. And you can see Lumen Field and the baseball stadium just behind us as well, the home of the Seattle Mariners.
We missed them last night, didn't we? We didn't know there was a game on.
We're on our way into the city and just noticed probably a little bit too late for our newfound baseball obsession, which we've acquired on our road trip. Sis. Diatta's made a good run down the right. De Kuiper's got to be careful with him. And Jai backing him up. Pat Gay, Idrissa Gana Gay. Jacobs. Mane. Still trying to cause problems for Timothy Castagna. Castagna might have taken that out of play.
Looked like it went out from here. The linesman's right on that far side.
Well, if it had gone out, technology would have told him.
Yeah. There's no way that linesman can see from there anyway. What they do well, Senegal, is they put 4 or 5, sometimes 6 up front when they've got it at the back, and then they rotate, they go into midfield.
Brilliant from Sis, evading both De Bruyne and then Doku. Crepin Diatta, Pape Gueye, still going Pape Gueye, not a bad ball. Mane's done well to keep it in. Well, they've looked the likeliest, haven't they?
Yeah. I like the way they play. I like that rotation. They all come off that front line, go into midfield, take turns at coming from out to in. And they just get away from their markers like that.
Sarr dropping in, the Crystal Palace man who's had such success since moving to Selhurst Park. Sis. Diarra. Diatta's been allowed to escape. Crepin Diatta of Monaco. Habib Diarra, Idrissa Gana Gueye. Njai. Mane. Decent looking cross. It's Ismail Assari's hit the post. Diarra's followed it up. And Senegal have a deserved lead in Seattle. Habib Diarra of Sunderland, who got Senegal up and running at this World Cup, gets them off the mark in the knockout stages.
Well, you have to say they deserved it. Diarra started that move. What I said to you before about 4 or 5 being high up the pitch and then dropping into midfield, that's exactly what he does, and then he carries on his run and just wanders into the box. Mane onto that right foot, the little flick onto the post, and there he is, just a sweep up. It's a great cross, really, really good cross, and the flick is even better. And the follow-up from Diarra. First to react. He won't get an easier World Cup goal than that. Deserve it, 1-0 to Senegal.
He scored in the 4th minute against Iraq, having also featured off the bench against France. Really igniting their World Cup campaign, and he's on the score sheet in Seattle. Habib Diarra of Sunderland.
Well, if the boys in the studio are looking at that move, when he goes into midfield, he goes in, and that just creates the space wide right for Diatta. He goes, then they rotate it back again. It goes over to the left side. Really, really well-worked goal. The movement is really, really effective.
Castagna's cross, an arcing one, which is easy to claim for Mori Diaw. Ismail Assar will be a little bit disappointed that his name is not on the score sheet, having hit the woodwork twice in the opening 26 minutes.
Yeah, it was a really good header because we were a little bit behind him. We've just got enough on him to direct it that far post. And as a defender in that position, your goal side, Diarra is behind you. You've got to be first to react. You've got to expect it to hit the post. Be a pessimist. Think something bad's going to happen. And it did.
Diaw forward. Mane using his body. And a little bit later than usual, we have the hydration break. Something that's not entirely popular with the crowd and often changes the momentum
has said to me, sometimes when you're getting pulled out of position by an opposition that's movement's really good, sometimes you're better off staying in your shape, both the back four and the midfield. Just stay in your shape. So when they run you into midfield, just don't go. Just let them have it to feet.
Well, we've got an interruption here. We've got a social media prank which is going to cause a halt in play, and it is quite a dangerous situation because there is 3 or 4 young gentlemen who have decided to encroach on the pitch. They've been wrestled now to the floor. 2 of the 3 have. The third one is evading security staff who are struggling desperately to get hold of him. They're falling over. And eventually the protesters are removed. Well, it has created yet another interruption. We haven't had too many of those at the World Cup. We had several, didn't we? If you remember when we were at the Euros a couple of years ago. And people are coming on desperate to try and get selfies with big-name players. The game has restarted, and there's a member of the Belgian coaching staff actually on the pitch away, out of sight to you, clearing up empty water bottles. All a little bit chaotic as we return from the hydration break. Michaela into Doku. And the referee says no foul. And he's having a word with Doku about his conduct here.
I have to say, it didn't look like there's contact from here, but we're about to find out. And maybe there would have been if he hadn't dived, so it's one of them. There wasn't an awful lot.
It's Niakate who's protests with the loudest.
The ref couldn't get any closer. He was nearly involved in that tackle.
Jessigan again.
Again, 5 up front for Senegal at the moment, and then they'll swap positions. Someone will come short, someone will go long. Really good, it looks really sharp.
I wonder they have scored so many goals at this tournament, games involving Senegal. 23 goals now. They've conceded a few, but they've scored a few as well. We got 2 off the bench the other day. Rewarded with a start today. Iliman Ndiaye scored and assisted against Iraq. Both those 2 players made a real impact and have been thrust into the starting lineup for Senegal today. They've started well, they've got in front. Games are rarely decided at this World Cup in the first 45 minutes.
Bruner's all over the shop trying to get in the game. He's now on the right wing. Doku's gone in the middle. Trossard on the left.
De Catalana trying to pull it through the box, which is being patrolled by Niakate.
It's a bit better. There's a bit of a pattern of play there. At the moment, you can't really see what Belgium are trying to do.
Doku. De Bruyne. Doku slowing and then trying to accelerate. De Bruyne looking to return, well blocked, and now an opportunity maybe for Mane to lead the charge. Caught by Tielemans. Well, I don't think you're wrong to point out your assessment of Belgium, because under the stewardship of Rudy Garcia, the feeling in Belgium has been that the team is still searching for its definitive identity, trying to move away from the long-standing Roberto Martinez era. Domenico Tedesco stepped in after he had departed, but Garcia's system yet to really sort of give a clear picture. Njai. Pat Gay, strong running, and he's got support here, Mane. Jacobs. Idrissa Gana Gay. Referee has played on despite what looked like a foul on the Everton man. Mane gets it back again. Sadio Mane couldn't get the power on the shot. He was falling eventually as he hit it.
Really good movement again. Little triangles all over the pitch. They very rarely give the ball away. There's a sharpness to this team. Just watch, little 1-2 into the space, and Mane, as you said, just slipping on the turf. And just drop into that shape again, protect what they've got behind. The back four look really solid, and then Belgium just keep giving the ball away. It's literally no real clue, no pattern of play of what's going to happen next. They just rely on their wingers to create something. At the moment, Doku not really in the game. Trossard's had a few little runs here and there, but nothing to speak of. And down the middle, Ketelara doesn't look that dominant at all.
He's supposed to be the man filling the breach whilst Romelu Lukaku gets up to full fitness. He's hardly played all season, Romelu Lukaku. He's been coming off the bench to some effect. Senegal deserve credit for the way their shape has been held and their dynamism and snapping into tackles. There's a bit more crispness about them. Doku trying to get down the outside, almost found De Bruyne. De Kuiper was coming in on the edge of the area as well, but was stretching for it. Trossard giving it away, then gifting a free kick in the direction of Senegal.
Got a bit, hasn't he?
He hasn't scored in the World Cup so far. His last World Cup goal, 2018 in Russia. He missed 2022 because of injury, and it was devastating for him, really. There are moments where he has stopped playing international football on the regular. He's definitely back to lead the team here. This is Tiat. Doku staying really wide on this right-hand side now. Tielemans. Van Aken makes a bit of a movement through the middle. Michaela out to Maxime De Kuiper. He's crossed too close to Mori Diaw. De Bruyne. Maxime De Kuiper looking for Leandro Trossard. Diatta has to be a little bit careful with him. Arthur Tiat of Eintracht Frankfurt. Tielemans was a little bit guilty of not looking in his wing mirrors.
As you play little short passes into midfield like that, three of them, Gay, Gana Gay, and Diarra, just snapping. They play quite narrow.
De Kuyper has broken the lines, couldn't find the pullback. It's a good run by the Brighton fullback. Tiat. Trossard. Room for Castagna to try and feed across into the box. Well headed away by Diatta, who was fouled.
Kuyper it was who came in the back of him late. Free spot on again.
Belgium, I think, will be concerned by the start of the game.
Yeah, they've been all over the place. There's no real fluidity to anything that they're doing. And they've struggled defensively. When Senegal have been free-flowing, they've not really known how to stop it. And they've just been shifted around too much. As I said to you before, sometimes when you get shifted around too much, you're better off just staying still. Being together, being two units.
No wonder the cameras are trained on Romelu Lukaku, who's come off the bench to good effect. Just 2 shots for Belgium, 1 on target, 6 shots for Senegal, 3 on target so far. But I think more pertinently, and I think this still illustrates how good they've been in terms of their positioning and reading of the game, Senegal are yet to commit a foul in today's game up until that moment there. And I think we saw Cape Verde, didn't we, go through and commit just 1 in the first hour of their game against Spain.
Not a massive lover of not fouling people, though, to be honest with you.
One of your trademarks?
I don't know how they've done that.
De Bruyne trying to get a bit free here. Sis has gone towards him. De Bruyne has sent it out wide. Doku trying to jink his way past the defender. And Jacobs, well, he almost sent it beyond his own goalkeeper inadvertently.
I thought he might shoot there. Doku. De Bruyne gets away from his marker eventually. And then here just creates the space there, just cross shot, tries to pull it back. Jacobs did enough.
Jacobs, who put in that brilliant cross earlier in the game, doing his defensive work just about. And he's got a bit of a nightmare on his hands. You were an elite fullback. How difficult would it be to face up Jeremy Doku?
Yeah, there's no doubt that he's a handful. I think Gary was talking about him before the game. You've just got to take one side out, as far as I'm concerned. You know, don't let him go. He will go inside, he will go outside. Obviously, I've seen him playing on the left a lot more on this right-hand side. I would still show him down the line.
Di Catalara getting some space, and again, excellent defending. Sis throwing his body in front of that attempted cross. It's out for a corner. I think that's the first Belgian corner of the game. We're in the last minute of the first half.
That sums it up for him. Strong words at half-time, I'm pretty sure about that.
There's space on the edge of the area here for De Kuyper. Called it well and forced Mori Chow into his most important save of the match.
Yeah, this will show. Yeah, he was perfect. It's a good save. It's one he would be happy with, but he should make it.
Concentration required here for Senegal just before half-time. De Bruyne driving that to the edge of the box. De Kuyper Tries to keep it alive. It took a flick just before him. He was sizing up to volley that back.
It was. Training ground move. No better person to set up a volley than De Bruyne from the corner. Absolutely pinged it.
Senegalese fans having fun in Seattle. The stadium that has been known as the home of the Seattle Seahawks. It's a good ball down the right for Njai, played in by Habib Diarra. Njai trying to find some room, comes back towards Gay, who stretched for the ball but couldn't really do any damage. It's going to go out for a goal kick. I know you like your bands. Seattle are home of some great ones. Foo Fighters, Nirvana, Pearl Jam, all up your street, I think. So the birthplace of famous coffee chain.
All the coffees are available.
We had to have a few of those to get us ready for the England game earlier on, because it kicked off at 9 AM on the Pacific coast here in Seattle.
I'll be really, really pleased with his first half performance. Everything pretty much has gone to plan, I would imagine. Without the ball, with the ball, Belgium have been restricted to half chances, long shots. And going forward, they've been a real threat. Midfield is strong. The three in front of the back four looks really, really good.
Hand was up there from Ismail Assar. The referee played the advantage. Give a free kick here for Jeremy Doku. We're into the third of 5 added minutes at the end of the first half. The first half, which, as Lee was saying, Senegal very happy with.
You have to think Belgium can't play this bad in the second half, so might have to be a bit better.
Anyone who watched their games with Egypt and Iran might disagree with you. But they certainly actually improved after half-time in the game against New Zealand. That's where most of their goals came. Leandro Trossard. And again. Now Doku skips past one challenge, not going to get past the next, and that's going to be a free kick. And this is a dangerous area right on the stroke of half-time.
Yeah, good chance to get a shot away. De Bruyne strolling over. There's the first one that the referee gave eventually. The second one. They're going to get away with two of them. It's 30 yards out, maybe.
Just a little bit right of centre. It's into Brunner territory. Tielemans is trying to organise the wall in front of the wall. The ball is a bit further back than maybe it needs to be, that Senegalese one. De Kuyper to strike it. Not what Belgium were hoping for. The big question before this game was whether or not Rudy Garcia was going to be brave with his selection. He may well have to be brave at half-time. Tielemans. They tried to knock on the door just before the break. De Bruyne to strike it into the ground.
Should be just about it.
It is Senegal lead, and they lead through Sunderland's Habib Diarra. And another African advance cannot be ruled out in Seattle for Belgium and Rudy Garcia. They need to wake up and smell the coffee, otherwise they'll be going home. Half-time in Seattle, it's Belgium 0, Senegal 1. Sarri's hit the post, Diarra's followed it up, and Senegal have a deserved lead in Seattle. Habib Diarra of Sunderland gets them off the mark in the knockout stages.
Senegal thoroughly deserved that lead against Belgium in Seattle at half-time. Roy, they're playing with an energy and a purpose that Belgium aren't really doing are they?
It looks like a game too much for Belgium. And, you use your words there, energy, pace, a desire to win the game. They certainly deserve to be in the lead. You still have to be wary of, obviously, Belgium. They do have players with that little bit of quality, but they deserve to be in the lead. And if Belgium don't find something to zip from their game, then they're going out of the World Cup.
They look so flat. I mean, you look at the conditions, it's sunny there, but it's only 16 degrees. You'd think it was like 30 degrees the way in which the Belgians are moving. They look really, really fatigued, and they're going to have to lift it from somewhere because it's not happening for them right now, and Senegal are all over them, and the goal is a personification of that.
You'd think they were playing here, wouldn't you, Belgium? it's properly hot here. Right, talk us through what's going on here from attacking point of view.
I think, again, that was a pass, that moved it quickly, and when you look at them, Gary, they're not getting to them, not coming out quick. I think that's Castagna. He doesn't come out, and then, there's no reaction in the box from the defenders, and he taps it in. But Gary made reference to the number 4 in the middle there, Gal, where he's dropping back when everybody else is trying to move forward, or should be moving forward.
Yeah, you watch Castagna here now and you think to yourself, look, this is the toughest bit of defending as a fullback, but you've got to get out to Mane, you've got to confront him outside the box, you've got to try and affect him, you've got to try and stop the cross, you've got a running going in behind your midfielder's going to try. But in the middle there, Michele, he's 33 years of age, he's 6'3", he drops so deep. If you're a 6'3" centre-back and you've got a 5'10" midfield player that's basically running in onside, if you're going to drop deep and go deeper than the rest of your back four, you've got to win the ball in the air, and he just doesn't. And look, they're so passive, and they're going to get a doing if they're not careful. I think that Senegal should be out of sight already.
My annoyance with defenders, particularly full-backs now, is we talk about, obviously, the importance of what they're like in possession, but this is a desire from full-backs not wanting to stop a cross. And he's gone out there, but all he's doing, going another 2 or 3 yards. We've seen it with so many goals, the obsession with how good a full-back is in possession. But you've got to get out and try and stop the cross.
They seem to get 3/4 of the way there, but not
do the last. And then
it's
like half measures. It's no good to you. You might as well go all the way. It's an extra 2 or 3 yards, and it's costing teams. These are big moments.
It's half-hearted, and the thing with it is, if Senegal got to recognise that they've got a good chance to finish this off in the next 10, 15 minutes once the second half, because they're passing, they're moving around, they're passing at good pace. There's chances that can be made.
The only reason you do that as a full-back are 2 reasons. One is that you don't understand the position or your job, and I don't believe that to be the case for Castagna, or he's frightened of Mane and thinking he's going to get a do, and he wants to pass the responsibility elsewhere by saying defend it. But they're getting cut through on a regular basis, and this obviously from wide areas. They're getting plenty of crosses into the box.
Are they staying wide as well, particularly?
Yeah, the three front players, as I said before the game, they're a massive threat, but they're also being joined by midfield players. They're well out in front of Senegal, and look, they've got to go and kill this game off and not let Belgium get back into it, because Belgium do have a couple of players who can produce a moment or two.
But they're all looking at each other, the Belgian players. Again, we talked about Bellingham the other day. You need someone to give you a lift, maybe out of possession, go and win the ball, be aggressive, but they're not doing that. And I still think they're all still looking at De Bruyne. And you can't always look to certain players all the time, particularly when they're getting a bit older. So they have to find something from within. But they've lost that
zip. The only one, isn't there, who's showing a little bit if he may be showing the example.
Yeah, but it looks like he's got to get on it. He's got to beat everybody by running through, because there's no link up with the forwards. There's no link from the midfield to the front men. It just seems like they're just playing off the cuff.
Belgium's World Cup is rather fizzling out unless they do something about it in the second half in Seattle. Senegal leading by 1-0, and England making plans to get to Mexico City after their come-from-behind win against DR Congo in Atlanta, thanks to a brace from the captain, Harry Kane.
They're away from home and looking for barbecue joints en route. Oh, they're absolutely going to walk this. What a passage of play.
and Sam at a face.
Yes, De Ketelaere off and Romelu Lukaku on, and you never write off a man like Romelu Lukaku, who is Belgium's all-time top scorer, 6 at World Cups now, on his own on the top of their list. He's barely played all season, but it keeps not mattering. Made the goal off the bench against Egypt, 1 touch off the bench against New Zealand. Senegal immediately set about trying to chase forward, and Mane trying to dance his way past Castagna. Still going, Sadio Mane. The cross aimed in towards Ismail Assar, comes back to Ndiaye. And a front-footed start by the Lions of Teranga.
Really, really positive, straight from the kickoff. So just tapped the ball, ran straight down the middle of the pitch and got the pass around the edge of the box, and they set up another opportunity. And Jai just trying to bend it into his far corner. Quite getting it, but sign of desperation from Belgium's point of view, putting Lukaku on, as you said, not hardly played at all. But a big, quick start from Senegal again.
Trossard, Van Aken, it's behind Lukaku. Jacobs away. It's a warning for Senegal as well, isn't it, that they can't rest on their laurels, having seen what Lukaku has done in this tournament so far when emerging off the bench. Their lead is still a slender one.
I think he'd pose a few different problems, certainly for the Senegal back four. They weren't really tested at all in that first half.
The worry for Belgium is that Senegal's 3 group games, which produced 14 goals, saw them perform better in the second half. The stats certainly showing that they grow into matches. 10 of their last 12 goals before today came after half-time in this tournament. Jacobs, blocked by Castagna. Jacobs trying to push that out for a corner. Doku then pushed to the floor by Sadio Mane. He's had an illustrious career, Sadio Mane, but never before has he or the Senegal team met Belgium. He's kind of enjoying his first tangle with them, I think.
3 players around Trossard when he got the ball. Tielemans was coming trying to help him, but everybody else is just running away from the guy on the ball.
Van Aken. Tielemans immediately engaged by Idrissa Gana Gueye. A tender age now of 36, the Everton man. It's a big day for Senegal as well, and you heard the boys saying that they could sniff a chance here for Senegal to go on and win this knockout game. History does whisper a warning to them. They've lost their last 2 World Cup knockout matches against European opposition. Helps if Maxime de Kuyper can't keep the ball in. Ndiaye, good strength by him. Excellent command of the football as well. The referee again could have played the advantage there, Lee.
Could have done. Just his whistle a bit too quick there. Good game, Ndiaye. Just retention of the ball. All the Senegalese players, when they run with it, when they pass it, when they make those little triangles, they just keep the ball. Something Belgium haven't done at all. And that pass there is just nobody within 15 yards of him.
Too much room for Ismail Jacobs and then Mane. Belgium had a shocking 2022 World Cup. Spent 4 years trying to forget about that. Unless they perk up a little bit, there's going to be a few echoes of it when they get back to Brussels. Ismail Assar handing that off. Pack guy out to Mane. Again, it's Senegal who are making all the running. And it's in towards Diarra, who has a great chance for a second.
Brilliant play down that left-hand side. Mane. Pullback's brilliant. Goes down the outside. What you got? The pullback just off his shin. He knows he should do better. So does he behind the goal.
It's a let-off for Belgium. You're on the back foot and a second best. Ismail Assar could be in here. He's chested that down beautifully. It's Ismail Assar! Stop that! Stop that if you dare! Senegal star in Seattle. And they're beating up Belgium. Powering away and eyeing up a place in the last 16.
Well, take nothing away from the control and the finish, but this is shocking defending. One ball, two centre-halves. A forward that wants to do this straight through the middle of the pitch and has got the ability and the skill to do it. You've got to mark tighter than that. That touch there is world class. That finish is nearly as good. Eye on the ball, off the batch, and then the finish absolutely superb.
You know his name. A Crystal Palace hero all season. A Conference League winner, an FA Cup winner, a Community Shield winner. And he might be the man that's just pushed Belgium to the brink.
When you got time on the ball and you hit a long ball like that, you'd expect the two centre-halves to have an idea what their one centre-forward they're marking between them is doing. He was right in the middle of them. Neither took control. But after that, it was pure genius from Sarr. Yeah, Karte it was who played the long ball. It was a perler, but the rest of it was left up to the number 18, and didn't he do well?
4 goals in 4 games, and a bit of a whack from Tielemans.
Frustration will set in now. These Belgian players, they could just see the World Cup drifting away from them, and so can he.
Well, they haven't looked like scoring a goal. And they've looked far too open at the back. There wasn't a defence that was regularly tested in the group games because of the level of opposition that they were up against.
That control, that's such a hard ball to control. He's coming over his left shoulder. He's had a little peek over his left shoulder, seen it coming, and the brilliance to bring it down and then have the composure to finish it off. One of the goals of the tournament.
Absolutely terrific. Another second half goal for Senegal. 4 in 4 for Ismail Assar. Belgium about to ring the changes. Raskin and Dodi Lukebakio about to come on. Makele. Doku up against Jacobs, who so far has marshalled him rather well. Plays his football, Jacobs. Ismail Jacobs in Turkey with Galatasaray. Lukaku. Might be his first touch. Tielemans. Doku. Need to find a way back in quickly. Now they get to make these substitutions that have been ready since the goal went in. Rudy Garcia not happy about the amount of time that it's taken. And Jeremy Doku is being replaced, and so is Kevin De Bruyne. And is this the last we will see of Kevin De Bruyne on the World Cup stage? A man who has delighted us and bedeviled opponents, but has been quietened in Seattle. Raskin and Luka Bacchio on.
I'm sure Doku's too chuffed with that. I think that what you've got to do to get back into this game, you'd think, having said that, he wasn't that effective in the first half, and Jacobs played him pretty well. I'm sure he'd be having a little word for this manager when he gets back to the dugout.
He's not the kind of player that you'd take off if you need to get back into a game, though, is he? Especially when you've got Lukaku waiting for his crosses.
And he doesn't look as if he's injured, because the way he was shaking his head there is in disbelief.
Ismail Assar. Acceleration, power and poise. Jacobs. And there was just no one in the box to finish off what was another sprightly Senegalese move. Winner of this game retains their hotel reservations for Seattle. They'll be back here to play the United States of America or Bosnia, depending on the outcome of their last 32 game.
That'd be a tasty match as well. It would cause some problems, these players in green, if they were to go on and win it. Looks like they will do, because Belgium are offering nothing at the moment.
Seems to have been pushed further forward in the reshuffle that has seen Nicholas Raskin of Rangers come into the midfield alongside Tielemans. He's a little bit deeper. Luka Bacchio going wide on the right-hand side. I wonder if they've just shifted a little bit so that Castagna will shuffle across and almost make up a back three. De Kuiper regularly goes out wide on this left-hand side.
Trying to find some space in midfield, but as I said, the three Senegal players in there have done a really good job. They stay really narrow, close to each other. Gaps are few and far between.
Luka Bacchio plays for Benfica in Portugal. Feeding Trossard, looking for Lukaku. Holds it, turns, Van Aken, robbed by Iliman Ndiaye, back to help out. Trossard again. There's another big European team going to fall at this first knockout stage. A slip at a vital time has allowed Luka Bacchio to dance into the middle, but Ndiaye was there again.
Jacob slipped then and tried to tackle him with his head.
I wondered whether or not he was going to commit a foul by doing that. We saw Johan Visser sort of do a similar sort of thing earlier today, didn't we? Lukaku, it's run kindly for him. Idrissa Gueye quickly across to cover the ground. And it's smashed into the side netting by Tielemans. He's suggesting there was a deflection that's taken it out for a corner.
Wiseman didn't want to commit himself, he was waiting for the referee to make that decision. Tight angle, thought he was going to try and pull it back. Actually, nobody in the 6-yard box for him anyway.
Well, there's still time for Belgium to construct a comeback. They just haven't looked likely to do so thus far. Artetiat. Tielemans is inside, outside is Trossard. Bender in by Trossard, looking for the run of Tielemans, which is nudged out of play. Maxime de Kuyper rushed the throw. Habib Diarra comes back to Hans Van Aken, couldn't get it under control initially. Lukaku with the effort, away by Ismail Assar. Just dropped a little bit deeper here, Senegal.
Trying to feed it into Lukaku and just get little bounce balls off him. He's laid off a couple. Very tight in there, edge of the box up.
Rudy Garcia making yet another change. Diego Moreira of Strasbourg about to come on. Played under Gary O'Neill in Ligue 1 last season, and Liam Rossigna. Imagine the back there, the referee very quickly on the scene to punish Crepin Diatta.
Knee in the back one.
There's confirmation of that change, and Hans Van Aken coming off, and Diego Moreira is coming on. First World Cup appearance for him. It's a wing-back, really. Chose Belgium over Portugal, made his senior bow in qualifying, impressed in a Strasbourg side that reached the Conference League semi-finals.
He's going straight onto this left wing position.
But with Luka Bacchio on one side and Moreira now on the other, it's key that it's all about providing service to Lukaku. Sarr. Well, he knew exactly what he was doing, but he's taken hefty punishment for it, and it's a yellow card for Michele. Quite rightly so.
Too sure he was going to get the ball after, but that's not the point. Still looking, no way you're going to get away with that.
I think one of the big issues has been that Belgium have lacked a bit of a focal point. Ismail Assar has been Senegal's, and he's getting a little bit of treatment now, I think. He's still down. And they've just halted the approach of the medical staff because they don't want him to go off for a minute. He's just winded. I think De Bruyne, Van Aken have all tried to find a bit of supply to Romelu Lukaku over the last few games. Lukaku hasn't played for most of the season, and Luis Openda, who was left out of the squad by manager Rudy Garcia, I think was probably the one you were expecting to see up front for Belgium at this World Cup, but he had a drastic collapse in form and a severe lack of playing time after a transfer to Italy. He joined Juventus from Leipzig last summer. He played 33 games and managed just 2 goals. And it just ruled him out of the running. Might be a decision that ends up coming to haunt Rudy Garcia should this scoreline remain the same. Lukaku chests it down, but Trossard can't get there, and there was an offside flag up anyway.
Yeah, there's no doubt that Lukaku's become that central figure now, and he's trying to ping balls at him. He doesn't look particularly mobile or agile at the moment. Just trying to bounce those balls off him. On that occasion, it was pinged at his chest. It's not going to be very helpful.
Pat Gay coming off. On comes Lamine Camara to add a bit of bite and legs in midfield to maybe wrestle back control of a game which has just started to drift into Belgium's favour. Great display off the bench in their last game, and an impressive 65 minutes today. And Lamine Camara, he plays his football for Monaco, comes on, started all 3 group games, teed up Ismail Assar actually for the 2nd goal against Iraq with a lovely little run and cut back. Two goals to nil, the Senegal margin at present. They've won it back here with Njai. It's a bit behind Lamine Camara. Tielemans searching out Luca Bacchio. Jacobs is equal to it. Lamine Camara with a poor touch which led to him stretching to win the tackle. He's only been on a couple of minutes and he's picked up a yellow card.
First touch as well. Obviously he didn't get a touch, otherwise he wouldn't be yellow carded. Yeah. Sorry, I missed that first touch.
Diego Moreira trying to get the better of Crepin Diatta, who does well. Tiat stepping in front of Ismail Assar, who might win it back here. There's quite a few Belgians in the crowd. This stadium has a reputation of being one of the loudest grounds in world sport. Seattle Stadium, as it is known for the duration of the tournament, has a reputation for noise. Belgium have been here before and heard it against Egypt. It's gone a little bit quiet, and what you can hear in the background are the drums being beaten by the Senegalese fans. They had a bit of a row with the authorities to get those in here today. They're Tama and Sabar drums. It's quite a strict security protocol.
Well, these Belgian players have got to ask themselves, are they willing to go out of this World Cup with a whimper? Because at the moment, that's what's happening.
De Kuyper to Diego Moreira. Delivery was swiped into the air by Lamine Camara, who hasn't quite settled into the game here yet.
He's had a bad touch, a booking, and nearly an OG.
Things can only get better. Pate Ciss, who's brushed off the ball by De Kuyper. He was dawdling on it slightly. Senegal got a little bit sloppy in the last few moments and inviting a bit more Belgian pressure. Mane guilty too. Here is Tielemans looking for Lukaku. Ciss just positioning himself in the right way.
There's a bit of evidence there about how deep that Senegal are dropping again. It's 2 players.
Well, that's actually Trossard and Tielemans who are coming to not blows, but certainly rather aggressive words. And that sort of shows the frustration that Belgium are having. And Romelu Lukaku had to step in between them there and try and calm things down. But there's no doubt that there is angst and frustration, Lee, amongst the Belgian ranks.
Well, absolutely. I think you want a bit of that. You want a bit of frustration. You want a bit of what I just talked about. You're not going to go out this World Cup without saying anything, without trying.
Ibrahim Mbaye, only 18 years of age, wearing the number 20s, instantly recognisable. Plays on this right-hand side. Is at PSG, another wonderful young PSG sensation. They've got quite a few of them in their ranks. Raskin.
Lukaku's hardly moved from a spot about 20-yard circle in front of the 18-yard box.
Well, they do say the best strikers stay within the width of the posts. Lukaku. It's a good challenge, really good challenge. Jacobs, who's been really good all afternoon, sends it into the path of Lamine Camara, bounding forward, looking for the cutback.
They can afford to take the time, waste a little bit more time, run that clock down. Game's in the bag now with a bit of game management.
Pat Mate Sarr. Near Karte. A little bit of noise inside the stadium in Seattle for the first time in a while.
Today's attendance is
66,925 inside the Seattle Stadium, which is right in the middle of the city. Mane fouled.
So even that, I'm not even sure what they're doing when they're closing the goalkeeper down. They're just letting the goalkeeper have it. They're 2-0 down. They're letting them pass out from the back. The press is non-existent.
Bringing on a right back now. Thomas Meunier. Now the old full back has been around the block a bit. It's more snap, more energy, more purpose to the play of Senegal. Artetiat. Blocked by Sis. Opportunity to break. Mane's gone. And the ball that was aimed in his direction was overhit by a mile. And that's the other problem that Belgium have got. They have to now commit everybody forward and take a lot of risks. And that means that the speedsters can break in behind when the ball's turned over. Raskin. Searching cross. Up there is De Kuyper. Away by Pathé Ciss. Good strong header by Diatta. Michaela. Out to Dodi Lukebakio. Trying to twist into a bit of space. And he didn't do badly, did he?
Joao had his eye on that. Had him interested for sure. Just waiting for that side netting to bulge. We'll see how close from this one. Really good technique. It's not far off, is it?
So close.
Keeper might have got there, but best chance they've had for a while.
The best reaction was the kid behind the goal who was taking the picture with his phone. He thought he'd caught a banger. Meunier on. And Maxime De Kuyper is off. Again, it's just another little tweak. It means that Timothy Castagna has come out to play as either a left back or as a left wing back here. As Rudy Garcia continues to thumb through his notes and try and find a solution. They need more urgency, don't they?
They need a lot of things. It's been like this right from the start. I think Roy Keane says you can't turn it on like a tap.
Mane, after a loose pass, chance to punish them further. And it was only the presence of Michaela that stopped it from finding another green shirt, but it was sloppy and casual once again from Belgium.
Playing knockout football as well, you want to start the game really quick and the opposition quicker than them and say, this is what we're up, this is us, what have you got? It started so sluggish. And Senegal took the game to Belgium straight from the kickoff.
There's been absolutely no sign of a Belgian revival. They are 10 minutes away from going out of the World Cup with a whimper. And bearing in mind after the last World Cup,
Look at that, just then. 3 of them walking towards the goalkeeper, and then one pass beats all 3 of them.
It's not going to go down too well, I don't think, when they get back home. Mbaye for Senegal, who are rather enjoying the occasion. Kamara trying to reverse it. Diego Moreira was in his way. Crepin Diatta putting him under pressure. Pressure enough to give the ball away, and then Castagna with the foul. That's going to be a free kick. But again, it's because they're sharper, they're hungrier.
Well, there's been a real snap in their tackling, and they're closing down. There really has. Again, they win the ball back. This is a really good position for a free kick, but also it just runs the clock down for them. They're a really good side. I like watching them.
I'm not sure they feel the same. It's a long way to come. It's all right if your team are winning, and Senegal certainly are. A World Cup history of surprise and controversy. Their best run, a quarter-final in 2002, their debut. They beat the holders France in the opening game and became the story of the tournament. And quietly writing a new chapter. Jacobs' delivery. Gay. Luka Bacchio puts it out of play. It's going to be a Senegal throw. And it's Belgium's 15th World Cup. No European nation has gone to as many World Cups without ever winning it. They've had the golden generation that fell at the semi-final hurdle in 2018. That bruising exit 4 years ago they tried to bury. They're a small nation that often punch above their weight, but you wonder if that punch still has the power to hit hard enough. Hasn't looked like it today.
I think with a lot of teams you get an idea of what they're trying to do. You know, they're a counter-attacking side or the possession-based side. I have no clue what Belgium are doing. They just seem like it's all off the cuff. Unless the wingers get the ball, they've got no real pattern of play for me.
Eight minutes to save themselves in Seattle. Luka Bacchio's cross, and the header towards goal was from Timothy Castagna. And they wanted Lukaku on the end of that.
Yeah, unless it's right on top of him, he's not going to get it, because, as I said, his mobility and his movement is pretty non-existent. He just waits for the ball to come to him at the moment.
Meunier's header might run through Trossard here. Does well. Finds Tielemans. And he fires well wide. It's probably one of the best moves they've put together all match.
Yeah, that's the one. That needs to fly into the top corner, give him any chance. It's their own doing when they give the ball away, but that little shove there, Tielemans gets himself in a position. We've seen him smash those in, not on this occasion.
I mean, Belgium have always been a team with some great players, and over the course of the last 10 years I think we've always been expecting a little bit more. They are a small country, but we're seeing the sort of fading lights of some of these legends now, aren't we? It's quite a sad sight to see. That might rebound for Mane, who thinks he's onside here. It's a save which had to be made by Thibaut Courtois. Lamine Camara. Pat Marissar, Kamara. Eventually the offside flag come on this near side. I thought when Mane first escaped that might be the issue.
Shot away. onside.
Very close, that's for sure.
Decent save from Courtois. He'd be disappointed if he lets that in. Good strong hand.
Tiat. Michele. Oh, it's short to Tielemans, and Papsar has snaffled it up, and Mane now is charging forward. Mane trying to pull it back. Sarr trying to make something of a difficult situation. And Lukaku coming back to chest the ball into the path of Leandro Trossard. Diego Moreira. Raskin. Lukaku with a flick which didn't quite come off, and Moreira shutting down Pape Sarr. Munir, it's Lukaku! Well, if it is the last dance, then he's just requested one more song. Senegal were running away with it, and now Belgium are threatening to spoil their party with 4 minutes remaining.
Well, you have to say that little flick didn't come off. He didn't have to move much for the goal either. He's just there, it's right in his path, near post, right place, right time. There's complaints about the ball. A couple of the Senegal players are complaining about the ball. It's in the back of the net. Turn around. It's a good finish, you have to say. He's hardly had a kick. He might have just got his team back in it.
Well, they're going to change the ball. They have changed the ball during that celebration. The Senegal players are suggesting that there was some incident beforehand. The referee from Honduras is having none of it. There's no VAR check, and it's going to stand. Lukaku's on the score sheet again, and bearing in mind he's only played the sum total of 142 minutes at this World Cup. He's got 2 goals, he's forced an own goal, and he's made another one.
I mean, if they were to get back in this Belgium, it'd be like...
Mbaye rushed his effort, and he did have reinforcements to his left.
Like daylight robbery if they get back in this. Well, that's why football's such an amazing game to watch. Certainly at tournament football, anything can happen. Surely not.
There's always a chance. Trossard, bit between his teeth now. Has it robbed. Gay can't get it up to Mane. Lukaku knows exactly where he's most useful.
Stay in front of the goal.
Munir. They don't deserve it, Belgium, but you rarely get what you deserve in football. You have to earn it, and Senegal haven't quite seen it out yet. Trossard. It's a deep cross. Gial's come towards it. He's missed it, and Belgium have equalised. A stunning, stunning comeback from Belgium. They barely deserve. Yuri Tielemans wheels away in celebration, and the whole Belgian nation breathe a sigh of relief, and Senegal are stunned. This was in the bag. It's not anymore.
Senegal are stunned. What about the commentators? I cannot believe what I've just seen. Trossard out of his feet. He's onside. Tielemans it is who gets there. Gial comes out. He thinks he's got it. He hasn't. Have a look behind you. It's in the back of the net. He gets nowhere near it. There's a shout of a push. But Tielemans, the glance into the back of the net.
Mori Gial, who is in for the injured Edouard Mendy, came but did not claim. Tielemans did. headed it home. It's Belgium 2, Senegal 2.
Niakate still at the referee, saying he got a push from Tielemans in the back. Ref's having none of it.
Well, Rudy Garcia has nabbed a ball that he wasn't happy with. He's played with it, turned and thrown it into the crowd. He's got a yellow card for that. Two minutes, 38 seconds between the two goals for Belgium. Senegal had 1 foot in the last 32. They had extended their hotel stays in Seattle. They might be asking for a refund now. We could have extra time. We probably will.
I said it was a crazy game, didn't I? I'll tell you what, you wouldn't put it past them to go and get a winner now.
Crackers, absolutely crackers. What a great game of football. We didn't want to go to bed yet anyway, did we?
1 o'clock in the afternoon, by the way, just because your jet lag's kicking in.
Thibaut Courtois away, up towards Lukaku. Niakate with the header. Lukaku's having none of it. Turns, runs forward, looks to shift it on. This is Tielemans. Lukebakio's in the centre and Kamara puts it behind. It's out for a corner.
Well, it's all gone a bit crazy, hasn't it? Lukaku doing his job, holding it up. Now he's going on dribbles. Looks like he was played onside. Diatta. Could they go and win it now? Could they?
Well, it is the World Cup of late drama, and this tie is no different. In it goes to the near post. Raskin went up there. Mounier forward. Back to Tielemans. A decent-looking cross this time. João does manage to claim it, and then it's a terrible kick out, but I think he was being held. The referee's going to give the free kick. Well, they think that the advantage was there. I'm not sure it was. I'm not entirely sure there was much in it.
No, didn't look like it, did it?
What's wrong with these balls, by the way? Why do they keep changing them? He's changing another one now.
Keeps going in the Senegal net, that's what's wrong with it.
There was an American football saga, wasn't there, many years ago? Deflategate. Do you remember that?
Yes, I do, yeah. Is that the Patriots? Was that the Patriots?
That's one for Google, I think. It was a long time ago. Lukebakio into Tiat. They've come on strong right at the very end. Lukaku is going to cause problems. Moreira's coming.
Tell you what, if he'd have known what was behind him, Tielemans had made a run. Little backheader then, and Tielemans is in.
Niakate just a little bit indecisive, I think. Well, they weren't as excited 10 minutes ago, but certainly Lukaku has helped give them hope. Maybe that rollicking that Trossard gave Tielemans might have helped, but it's not over yet. Jacobs. Pape Sarr. Only got 3 minutes of the added 7 still to play at the end of the 90. If it is extra time, we will bring it to you here on ITV. Mane. This is Lamine Camara. Senegal seem to have no real intent to try and force the issue at the end of the game. Diatta. Mbaye. Castagna wins the tackle. Moreira tries to kick it long. Lukaku not going to reach that. Niakate is. Seven goals after the 85th minute in the round of 32 alone at this World Cup. Mbaye. Is there a late twist right at the very end? Idrissa Gana Gueye from distance. And it whistled past Courtois' post.
Yeah, the space was there, wasn't it, in front of him? Maybe Tielemans just put him off a little bit, just dragged it wide. I feel that might be it. Another half an hour by the look of it.
Senegal haven't beaten the European side in a knockout game at the World Cup since 2002. They thought they'd already done it, they'd achieved it, it was done. Moreira's rolling around thinking he was caught. The referee is allowing play on here. Forward it goes. Ismail Assar trying to dart in behind. Tiat gets there. It goes out for a throw-in. There's 15 seconds of added time to play. Is there enough time for Senegal to snatch a late winner? Quickly into Mbaye. He needs to deliver it. Niakate. The cross is deep, it's too deep. And Moreira will escape here on this left-hand side, and surely that will be the end of the 90 minutes, and extra time will follow. Well, they thought it was, but it's not over yet. There's much more drama to come. I'm afraid you'll have to be sleepless as we bring you a bit more from Seattle. Extra time is next.
De ce scénario de rêve et improbable, enfin improbable n'est pas belge. Après 2018, voici la version 2026. Je pense, Jérémy, qu'on repasse par chez vous. Vous savez quoi, on a bien besoin de souffler un petit coup aussi. On retrouve très très vite. Et le baby boom, on l'appellera Leandro, Yuri, Tielemans, Trossard, tout ce que vous voulez. C'est ça le foot, c'est dingue. On va revenir ensemble sur les buts de cette deuxième mi-temps.
So hard to win. Here's another one, Ian, with Lukaku and Luka back at two subs, actually, which have really, particularly Lukaku, I think, has changed the emphasis of the game.
Yeah, definitely. I think it's the most unlikely comeback I've ever seen. I didn't have them coming back at all, but I think the manager now, Papa Sal, I think he's got a massive job on to try and get them going now to get into this extra time, because they really lost their momentum. But then you could see Belgium definitely found something and got themselves going.
Yeah. Gary, if you're Belgium, surely you think we have that momentum now, we need to go and win this, not leave it to penalties.
Oh, you'd be thinking something's happening, because I think, like Righty's just said, it's the most unlikely comeback. We said that partway through that half we were planning what we were going to go and eat in the restaurant in the next half an hour. Now we're sat here doing extra time.
That's knockout football, though, isn't it?
It's knockout football. Back to Lee and Sam.
El-Hadj Malik Diouf has come onto the field of play, as has Nicholas Jackson. Well, I say El-Hadj Malik Diouf has come onto the field of play. That was the intention, that he's going to replace Ismail Jacobs, but it looks as if Senegal aren't quite ready to make those changes, so we'll start extra time with the players that they finished normal time with, despite the fact that two subs that they want to bring on are waiting now on the touchline. It is an extra 30 minutes, 2 periods of 15 that I don't think anyone saw coming.
No one, literally, especially Gary Neville.
Here's Ismaila Mbaye. And again. Pat Mate Sarr. Senegal, who were on the front foot at the start of the first half and the second half, but somehow let a 2-goal lead slip.
Yeah, it's a massive reset psychologically, because they were in the shower, done and dusted. 2 goals in 2.5 minutes has just shaken this stadium.
It's the third of the 32 ties that around the 32 ties that have gone to extra time. The previous 2 went to penalties. Ismaila Sarr chasing. Why on earth weren't the subs ready to come on during the extra time break? They've been standing now on the sideline since we restarted. That's 90 seconds. They aren't getting the benefit of those fresh legs.
It looked like a shirt issue. Diouf, I think, couldn't find the shirt by the look of it.
I think Mane is the planned man to come off and Jacobs the other. Here's Diego Moreira, who's been a bit of a bright spark since coming on. Combination of Diatta and Gay get the ball clear. Senegal have made a habit of losing to European teams at the World Cup. They've lost their last 4 against UEFA nations, including defeats to France and Norway in this running of the event. We won't want to make it an unlikely hat-trick after having a place in the round of 16 in the palm of their hands. Here, eventually, are the 2 changes. It is Sadio Mane for Nicholas Jackson, who's going back to Chelsea after a spell at Bayern Munich. Interesting to see for how long. And the West Ham United fullback, El-Hadj Malik Diouf, comes off the bench and onto the pitch to replace Ismail Jacobs. And I wonder, once again, whether or not this is the last time we're going to see Sadio Mane at a World Cup. If it is, he's had a big contribution. What a player he has been. Started all 4 games of this tournament, Sadio Mane. His man, an emotional heartbeat of the team. Some suggestion that we might have seen Kalidou Koulibaly at one stage, certainly angling to come on. He was dropped, actually, after a couple of errors in the group stages. Jackson's gone through the middle. Ismail Assar has come out to this left-hand side, Mbaye out on the right now. This is the sixth and final substitute, and it is the very young Bara Ndiaye, only 18 years of age, only one cap before tonight, comes on for Idrissa Gana Gueye. Idrissa Gana Gueye, 36 years of age, being replaced by someone exactly half his age.
Just work that now. Big night for the young boy. Big shoes to fill as well.
Bit of a wild card. He was uncapped until a debut in pre-tournament defeat to the United States of America, who might well be the next opponents for the winners of this game. The Pacific Northwest is very much a footballing hotbed. The Seattle Sounders and the Portland Timbers, two of the most popular teams in the MLS. Once had 67,000 in here for a game between those two. The United States of America, should they beat Bosnia, will come back to this ground to face the winners of this tie, which is back in the balance.
Should be a real spring in the step with Belgian players, because I don't think they'd be playing this late in the day.
Foul by Meunier. Bacchio. Well, that's a mistake by Michela, and then a tackle by Meunier on Ismail Sarr, who gets straight back up, and the referee allows play on. Get an extra sub in extra time, which is why 6 have been made by Senegal. There's still one left for Belgium to make.
Next one might be a penalty taker.
You may well be right there. Although I've seen a couple come off the bench to take penalties because they're specialists and then fluff their lines. Although that's not discriminatory, because a lot of them have fluffed their lines at this World Cup in terms of penalty taking.
So we've seen some shockers, haven't we?
We really have. Not that it's an easy thing to step up and do. Here is Diego Moreira. Bending cross, which just evades Lukaku. Meunier back in. Another deep one, which might be too deep for everyone in light blue and pink. And Moreira wins it back. Now Trossard. Feeding it towards Luca Bacchio almost. And the referee got in the way.
It's a free kick.
Well, it was Ndiaye actually who was fouled, I think. there. And then it bounced off the ref. And that's where ref cam is very useful.
Shame he didn't take the camera out.
He's been out, Edouard Mendy, for longer than they hoped. A knee injury, which meant that Mori Zhao had to play in goal, and it was his mistake which has led us to extra time. I must admit, I was expecting, because of the flourish with which Belgium finished with, that they would come out, start at extra time, put their foot on the gas, their foot on their throat of the Senegalese, and really go for it. It hasn't materialised like that. Lukaku. Good switch by Luka Bacchio, but again, Crepin Diatta was there. And Mbaye trying to lead the charge. He's had a bit of trouble getting away from Diego Moreira. There's a lot thicket of players on the floor there, and the referee allowing play on, and Belgium emerge with it.
I think he's been good, the ref. He's let it go, hasn't he?
Well, we've been quite complimentary of the referees at the tournament, haven't we?
Absolutely.
It's been well done.
You're going to get a few things here and there you don't agree with, but in general...
Here's Trossard. Tried to squeeze that back to Lukaku. Didn't get enough on the flick. And we complain about the tinkering with the laws of the game, because sometimes it is a little bit too much. But actually, in the large, I think the rules that have been altered have improved the speed of play. Here's Tielemans looking for Lukaku. He wafted that left foot in the direction of the ball, but couldn't make significant contact.
Tielemans didn't get enough on it. Lukaku was just behind him just in case. And he couldn't quite make enough contact. First chance really of the extra time period. Just watch Lukaku's. He misses it, I mean, Tielemans does. Doesn't get anything on it, does he? Chance.
Yes, I think he's come to that realisation. But bearing in mind what we've seen so far, he'll probably get another one.
I just feel there's been a drop in energy from both sides, to be honest with you. They're looking up at the clock going, when do you start thinking about, we'll just go for penalties?
Frantic into the first 90 minutes. Very flat start to extra time, and that's a poor giveaway by Trossard, which has handed it to Ibrahim Mbaye. And his attempt at chopping back into the centre gifted the ball back to Belgium. Njai. Ismail Assar. Mate Sis. And the Senegal fans trying to increase the noise and push their team on. Mori Zhao clips that one forward. Haj Malik Diouf couldn't get on the end of it, nor could Nicholas Jackson. It goes out for a throw. ball out to Moreira. A floaty cross towards Lukaku. Niakate was there. Tiap steps in front of Jackson, finds Trossard, shifts away. He got the opportunity to get the shot in but couldn't finish it, but the danger isn't past for Senegal. This is Raskin! And Trossard did everything he could to try and latch onto the end of that fizzing ball from the Rangers man.
Cross shot. Lukaku's not too happy, he was coming short. Creates a little bit of space, Trossard, but perhaps he's getting in front of him. Lukaku come for a little 1-2 with him.
It really is a terrific setting, this stadium, and you can see that.
Amazing, isn't it?
It's a unique venue. And we've had a unique game. Largely dominated by Senegal until the very last, and Belgium have fought their way back into it, almost like the old guard have refused to go home. Half-time in extra time. And still we await any further developments. We're 15 minutes away from penalty kicks. The Belgian fans certainly in much finer fettle now than they were just before the end of 90 minutes. 2 goals, 86 and 89. Just before the end of full-time have turned this game on its head. It's 2-2 at half-time. Would be the irony of all ironies if he came off the bench, got the winner or scored the winning penalty, having been born in Senegal.
Yeah.
El Hadj Malik Diouf. Jackson really hasn't had too much joy so far since coming off the bench. Certainly hasn't had the impact of the striker that Belgium threw on. Here's Luca Bacchio. Trossard wants it centrally. He eventually gets it. There's space out wide for Meunier. Did well to keep hold of it. Dangerous looking cross. Raskin gets up there. Doesn't trouble Zhao in the Senegalese goal.
It's definitely been a more focal point since Lukaku came on. That mobility is not his forte right now, but they've certainly been better since he's been on.
Jackson trying to steal in. Away by Michele. Njai, the youngster, battling for it, doing brilliantly.
You can tell he's a player. He's only been on not that long, but he's got something about him. Such a youngster.
He's gone to Bayern Munich actually in the last 6 months. He was a January arrival from a Gambian academy. Made 4 Bundesliga appearances under Vincent Kompany in the second half of last season. Gambia, a small enclave which is surrounded by Senegalese territory. Mbaye gets the return, and the first time cross is sent into a dangerous area.
Yeah, good ball, that. Really good.
Sis. Well, the games in this World Cup have been so tight. It was always likely, and if you are going to go deep into it, you're going to have to get involved in one penalty shootout, unless they can win it here. This is Njai, gets it back to Mbaye. And the two teenagers combining almost did win it.
Brilliant from Njai. Just look at his movement. I'm off. In the space, presence of mind to pull the ball back. Mbaye, I think he was a bit confused by the player in front of him and didn't quite sort his feet out enough. It nearly went in though. Big chance.
Well, no doubt that Leandro Trossard has had a major effect on Belgium so far in this tournament, but his game is over, and on comes Amadou Onana, who doesn't look to be too popular with those Senegalese fans. Lukaku trying to win the header, he does. He'll go straight into the arms of Zhao. Europa League winner with Aston Villa, Amadou Onana. There was an elbow up there, wasn't there, by Diatta? And that does look as if it's done a little bit of damage. Diego Moreira is the man down. It wasn't an elbow, it was a clash of heads, wasn't it?
Yeah.
The arm went up afterwards. Just going through the protocols. Leandro Trossard being replaced. A little bit surprised, bearing in mind he's scored 10 out of 13 penalties in his career.
That would be right in the forefront of my mind if I was the coach. Maybe he thinks they can win it in this 15 minutes, but certainly pretty secure from that penalty spot.
Macchio. This is Raskin. Malik Diouf plays it against Luka Macchio, wins the throw-in. Castagna. Kamara sends it wide. A little step over. Jackson gives it back to Pat Matassar, who drives into the box and then couldn't find a ball which would have done any damage to that Belgian defence. But there's not a great clearance by Meunier. Ismail Assar. It's smacked from the edge of the area by Njai.
He's a player, isn't he? That boy. He's got a little snap in his step. So what's this for a little jink there? Just creates the space on the left-hand side. Gets a good shot away as well. I like him.
Raskin. 7 minutes to go. Can someone force a winner?
Yeah, this is where you normally tighten up though, because you kind of do not want to give a goal away now.
I'm an advocate of extra time remaining part of the wider game. I know that in the Carabao Cup it's become quite exciting, the fact that it goes straight to penalties.
Yeah.
Is the World Cup too prestigious to...
I would say so, yeah.
Eradicate it?
Yeah.
Jackson. Mbaye to his left. Ismail Assar on the far side. Jackson on the final ball just let him down.
You see how tired the players are. Jackson makes a run down the right-hand side. Only 2 Senegal players getting up with play. The rest of them in midfield pulling their socks up, getting a breather. Nice time to score now.
Corner kick. El Hadj Malik Diouf of West Ham United with the delivery. Bit of confusion inside the box, but Thibaut Courtois will end all that. Space for Luka Macchio. He's going to run out of ground. And there's a penalty taker yourself. When you look over to the bench that Belgium have got, there is quite a lot of experience that has been
taken off.
Yes.
Chance for someone to be a hero, the new hero.
Anana. Castagna. Tiat. This is Diego Moreira of Strasbourg. Early cross for Lukaku, just again trying to get across his man Niakate, but he's probably only going to be effective just a little bit closer to goal than that.
Just can't get away from anybody at the moment. his lack of fitness.
I mean, you would have thought during the course of the last week, having seen all of the penalties that were missed in previous games, like the Netherlands, Morocco one and the Germany match, that a lot of focus would have gone into the preparation for spot kicks.
Sharpens your mind up when you see that on the TV, I tell you. I'll practice some tomorrow after training. There were some dreadful ones. I mean, I've been there, I've done it. A bit good ones and a bit dreadful ones myself. You can't really explain to anybody either what it's like.
Good ball into the near post, and it's come back to Luca Bacchio. He's hit the post. The top of the crossbar. There's claims that there might be a penalty here for a foul on Tielemans as well. But the crossbar has just been kissed by Luca Bacchio.
Well, he should score, simple as that. Was there a penalty? They both come together, one from the side, one from behind, but when it gets to Luca Bacchio, it's not that difficult. The first touch is good, the second one's inches over, but he's got to score. He really has. The game's right there. He knows it.
Dodi Luca Bacchio, who has definitely had an impact on the game, Lee, since coming off the bench.
Yeah, he's been lively on that right-hand side. Not quite lively enough there. Tielemans wants a penalty. There was a kick at the back of his ankle, you have to say.
Well, they are checking for a possible penalty on VAR right now. The referee just getting some instructions from the Mexican official who's watching in Dallas.
Well, on that last angle, there was definitely a kick on the back of his ankle as he put his foot down.
Well, Christina Uncle is listening back in our studio in Brooklyn. Christina, evidence for you for a possible penalty?
Definitely evidence for a possible penalty, which is why the VAR is checking this. We have seen in this tournament, anytime a player steps into the path of another attacking player, whether that's going to be recommended or not. There's a couple of different distinctions with this one, I believe, because he is already committed into this challenge, and then there's a play and a foot into it, that this would be recommended down for a penalty. However, we have seen the situation once again with Vinicius Jr., and even that last decision that we had, that it was not recommended down. VAR is taking a look, because when it comes to more subjective, lately in this tournament, FIFA has not recommended these down for review. I personally still think this is a penalty, but we have seen FIFA hold a higher standard when it comes to a clear and obvious on the subjective element.
He's having a look.
Well, Kevin De Bruyne thought it was clear and obvious, and Guillermo Pacheco of Mexico has sent the Honduran referee Said Martinez to the monitor. If he decides that this is a penalty, it could determine Senegal's continued participation at the event.
Well, Tielemans plants his foot, and then he gets kicked. And as I hear what Christina's saying, I think this is a penalty. But she's right in what she said about these haven't been given in the past in this tournament.
Listen, this is how sure Yuri Tielemans is that the referee is going to overturn it. He's grabbed the ball and started to walk to the penalty spot already. No decision yet made. Tielemans taking matters quite literally into his own hands.
You can see there, you can see the contact, you can see the kick.
The players are all surrounding the referee review area, which is not what you're supposed to do. The fourth official, the assistants, they're all trying to keep the substitutes from Senegal and those trying to encroach from Belgium as they look to put the referee under pressure here, but he has to make a massive call. It's huge because
it is massive.
Look at the time. We've played 120 minutes now, and this is right at the end of the game. This decides the match.
He's got to score it, yeah, if he gives a pen.
Well, but it's a massive call. He was looking to see whether or not the defender got a touch.
Number 8, wide will play the ball, and the number 8 in green kicks the foot of the attacker. For that reason, the final decision is penalty.
Penalty. He's given a penalty. After a review, he's decided that Lamine Camara committed a foul on Yuri Tielemans. And with the last kick of the game, Belgium, who were finished, have got the chance to knock out Senegal. They know how big this decision is. And just a reminder, at the end of the Africa Cup of Nations, this team walked off the pitch because of defence. A penalty went against them, a decision went against them. So much so that when they came back and won it eventually, they were stripped as African champions. Controversy follows them around.
Well, they're arguing with the ref. There's absolutely no point. He's given the penalty. They're all on the penalty spot. There's no doubt that Kamara kicked the back of Tielemans' leg. That's indisputable. You can see it just there. It's whether there was any touch on the ball, and obviously FIFA's set of whether it's a clear and obvious. And somebody's gone down on the penalty spot now.
Yeah, Sissa's gone down. He's claimed he's been pushed. Diego Moreira was flinging himself around. There is late drama, late controversy. The Africa Cup of Nations in January. Senegal against Morocco. A late penalty for Morocco was missed by Brahim Diaz after a huge delay. The Senegalese team taken off by Pat Chow, their manager, in protest at that decision. Subsequently, FIFA have written into the laws of the game that any team taken off in protest would automatically forfeit a tie. So this is a situation that is familiar to the Senegalese players. They feel as if the world is against them once again. And once again, a very late, dramatic penalty.
This is Papsis's. There's a little finger, and then there's a little elbow there, and he's got, I mean, come on. Come on, get yourself up.
Unseemly, that, isn't it?
It's, yeah, absolutely out of order.
Well, it's a game that Senegal had won. It was in the bag, it was done. And then it wasn't. 7 minutes ago, Dodi Lukebakio hit the bar. The referee did not give a penalty initially, but he's given one now. I imagine it will be Lukaku. Let's see. Let's see. And wouldn't it be just like the World Cup to produce a story like this? Romelu Lukaku, you can see his last 5 penalties for club and country. He has a conversion rate of 44 taken and 38 scored.
He's handing it over to Tielemans.
The decoy. He's given it to Tielemans. His conversion rate around about 85%. 25 taken, 7 missed, but there'll never be a bigger one than this. It's Yuri Tielemans for a place in the last 16 of the World Cup. It's Tielemans, it's in, and Belgium have snatched it in stoppage time. The man who scored the 89th minute equaliser at the end of a 90 minutes they were barely in, has scored the winner from the spot in the 125th minute in Seattle. They might not be the youngest at the party, but they are determined not to go home early. How have they done this? It's one of the great World Cup comebacks.
Look who's giving him the biggest hug now. Trossard. They were arguing, fighting at the end of this game. That is one of the best strikes of a ball he'll ever hit. Beautifully chipped into that top corner. He knew it. That takes some mental fortitude to put it in the top bins when you're under the pressure they've been under. An hour ago they were dead and buried. They've just won the game.
More controversy for Senegal, more heartbreak for Senegal. And it will, again, lead to an inquest. Remember, their African title is still the subject of an appeal at the Court of Arbitration for Sport. They're stunned. They're absolutely stunned. 127th minute of the game. Still, it might be alive. Not with a shot like that, unfortunately, for Pat Madasar.
4 minutes minimum. Seemed like about 24 minutes.
Well, we're in the 7th. We're well beyond that. Rudy Garcia didn't even watch the penalty that Tielemans took. He was too nervous. And his team are staying in the tournament unless Senegal can come up with a late moment of inspiration. Nicholas Jackson, challenged by Onana. And it's a throw-in to Belgium.
Well, you have to ask yourself how they've done this, because watch this for a pen, by the way. Nice little lean back, nice little dink chip into the top corner. I mean, come on. But how have they done this? Because there's no game plan to this Belgium team. Until Lukaku came on, there was a bit of a focal point. And up until then, they're absolutely terrible, with and without the ball.
There'll be arguments across the African continent about whether the penalty should have been given or not. We'll get the boys' analysis of that very shortly. But Senegal will be furious. Belgium will be absolutely relieved more than anything else. Crepin Diatta. They need to act urgently. We've played 128 minutes. There's not much more time to go. They need to get it forward and get it forward quickly. Pate Ciss. There's Diatta. Out to Mbaye. Had that chance in the second period of extra time, which came to nothing. Pat Madasar. El Hadj Malik Diouf with a cross. Well defended this time by Onana. Luka Bakia to try and get it clear. Moreira chasing. Ciss heads it away. Senegal need one chance. They need something. They'll get a free kick.
Send the goalkeeper up.
Just get everyone up. What is he doing staying back?
It's about 6'7" as well.
129 minutes have been played. They're not giving you any more. This is it. This is the game right here. This is the tournament. El Hadj Malik Diouf. Swung into the centre. Not dealt with. Lukaku away. Back it comes from Lamine Camara. The referee glances at his watch. There might be just one last delivery in. Still they delay. Back it comes to Lamine Camara. He tosses it in. It's deep, too deep. Mbaye will keep it alive in the penalty area. Pape Matar Sarr. Mbaye going to the byline. And it's a poor delivery. Courtois claims. And Senegal are staring at the exit. Courtois sends it long. Still, the clock ticks and the play continues. Tielemans goes down. 130 minutes of football have been played. Diego Moreira. Interception from Pape Matar Sarr. Mbaye is over on the far side. He chests it down. Ciss has come up from the back. Here is Ciss. Ciss to hit it. Back to Ismaila Sarr. It hits the arm. That's going to be a free kick on the edge of the area.
Can you believe it? Can this happen? Right on the edge of the box. The referee was right up with play. An arm went up. There it is, just outside the box.
That is so close.
One last chance. Nobody more calm than Courtois, just setting his wall up.
Well, it's going to take something special to beat him. Pape Matar Sarr as the man with the ball in his hands. I'm not entirely sure he's going to be allowed to take it. El Hadj Malik Diouf is there. Across comes Niakite. Yes, it's nervy. Yes, it's dramatic. And we're just coming up to 11 minutes to midnight in the UK. It's nearly 4 o'clock here on the Pacific Northwest coast. And Pape Matar Sarr basically has the World Cup in his hands. He strikes it and he misses it. Over the bar, and it could be over and out. It is over and out. Belgium come back from the brink. They might be relying on some of their ageing stars, but there is life in the old dog yet. Somehow, some way, Belgium have scrapped their way into the last 16. Yuri Tielemans with 2 goals, one a header in the dying embers of the 90, and one in stoppage time at the end of over 130 minutes of football. Controversy about the award of the penalty, and for a team that were robbed of the African title and involved in controversy in the AFCON at the beginning of the year hasn't got much better for them. I don't know how Belgium have done it, but they have.
Yeah, me neither. They showed some fight towards the end. You have to say they probably didn't deserve it, but you don't always get what you deserve, and you feel a bit sorry for Senegal. They were absolutely in total control at 2-0, and they